Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Masterofroflness, and welcome to an exciting game of Planetary Annihilation Gamma. Today, we have another special multi-planet spawn game with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 players spawning on the metal planet. It's called Sleeping Rock. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 players spawning at NAF right now, so that's pretty damn good. This is traditionally a desert planet, and actually there are 2 tracks of songs being played at the same time during the opening of Planetary Annihilation, which is very, very weird, actually. I think that is a glitch. That is not supposed to happen. I'm not supposed to hear 2 tracks of songs. Hold on a sec while I actually mitigate this problem by lowering the music down to 40. 48. So that you guys don't have to hear my annoying voice for the entirety of this cast. Anyway, so we have black going with the bot factory. After the 2 mechs and 1 energy plant, we have blue going for 4 mechs, 1 power plant. We have energy plant, power plant, same thing. We have orange going for the energy storage very early on, red going for the bot factory, and Mr. White going for the air factory and then a power plant. So Mr. White obviously has the worst build start off right now because he's going with the fabricator very, very early on, going for energy plants afterwards, and then not even getting mexes. So he's definitely going to have a tough time. Over here in NAF, we have Mr. White going for the bot factory at 2, 3 mexes, and afterwards the energy plant and the energy storage plus a missile turret. He does have a lot of mexes to boot up at the start of the game, which is pretty good, but he's right next to Brown, who is hungry for some mexes. So Mr. Brown is probably going to go after yellow due to the fact that there's just so many mexes over here, and green is going to obviously get to him. Mr. Teal might even move to this direction as well. He does have a vehicle factory over here and a couple of mexes and power plants. Mr. Purple, who's the reigning champ in the last game, has a naval factory, a couple of power plants, mexes, and is probably going to dominate the naval side of this game. I'm going to start off with having a little bit of a small screen on this side of the planet because of the fact that, well, there are a lot less players than compared to Sleeping Rock. So let's go to Sleeping Rock for example and see what we're going to face off with during this cast in terms of military conflicts between these players. Mr. White finally has his act together. He's building a little bit more power plants and mexes. Mr. Blue is going for the energy plant, some more mexes, and Mr. Orange continuing to be a boss. Whereas we have Red over here kind of a little bit struggling in terms of telling his fabricators what to do and how to do it. In terms of economy, like I said beforehand, White's still pretty bad. Red is kind of jumping back and forth. Mephilotus over here, which is yellow, is sort of doing pretty good. Pretty solid right now. He had a little bit of an awkward start because he probably was like, hey, look, a lot of mexes. So he didn't really build a lot of energy plants early on, just built a ton, and I do mean a ton of missile turrets and mexes, but now he's going to get some energy plants, so he's going to fix out his economy really, really soon. Right now, Brown over here going for the air factory, and as well as expanding a ton, which is very, very good indeed. So good stuff, good plays from all these players. The players who are playing a little bit poorly right now, you know who they are, and they are probably going to get their act together. Oh, tier 2 bot factory very, very early on. Wow, and the single laser defense tower, pretty nice, pretty solid. If he gets up the single laser defense tower, he can maybe even creep his way towards Red's base and then destroy him. Pretty damn good. Pretty good stuff. Mr. Commander is going to build a little bit of a walled emplacement over here with these commanders. I meant to say fabricators, but this commander over here and the single laser defense tower is going to kill that ant, which is pretty damn good. White over here still struggling, very, very bad for him, but hopefully he doesn't get killed by any of the other players, and will slowly expand to become a superpower. More factories are coming out from black over here, and it seems like things are going to be really good indeed for Mr. Blue, since he will be able to just block off all these attacks. Orange is now thinking about giving Red some mercy, but maybe Mr. Orange will be like, nope, Chuck Testa, and send in a bunch of bumblebees and annihilate all these fabricators, which would be deadly. Red does not have enough eco to actually support all this tier 2 construction, so that's going to be really bad indeed. Anyway, so Purple, let's go back to the other planet and see that Purple is building naval units continuously, but doesn't have a strong sort of military game, just has a ton of fabricators. Yellow's going to go ahead and harass a little bit of Teal's base, while Teal's going to go for the orbital factory very, very, very fast, trying to see if he can get off the planet and try to control the other moons, whereas Purple is going to build a single laser defense tower and impede Teal's sort of expansion. We have Yellow trying to struggle for his life against Brown right now, as Brown is trying to expand over to Yellow's base. Yellow's trying to build a double battle laser defense tower, whereas Brown is building the teleporter in the battle factory. So we have 2 players trying to expand off of this planet and trying to go to the other moon right now in order to attempt and survive this entire sort of engagement that they're all having against each other. Right now, on the other planet, we have a little bit of a stalemate right now between all the players, as a lot of them are trying to dig in deep for the long, drawn-out conflicts that each of the players will have against each other when it comes to warfare and planetary annihilation, due to the walls being so OP and these defense towers being so OP that it mitigates the use of large-scale units. Anyway, so Brown is trying to get out this orbital launcher as fast as he can. Yellow is slowly encroaching on his position with double-barrel laser towers and a bunch of units right now. This is going to be really deadly for Brown if Brown doesn't get his act together. I'm not sure why he's building the teleporter, because the teleporter won't actually do anything for him besides actually just wasting a ton of energy and mexes right now. He needs more energy, he needs more mexes, he needs more units, he needs more stuff. More. Sell. You're losing a ton of buildings. You shouldn't really do that too much. Purple over here is going to be attacking teal in the meantime, trying to see if he can maybe destroy these fabricators this time so that he can maybe kill this orbital factory before it actually allows teal to escape off of this wretched planet. Brown is going to take a few hits over here from double barrel laser tower. Double barrel laser tower is nothing to mess with at all. Blue over here going to actually attack black right now with a commander, and orange and red continuing to look each other dead in the eye, not doing anything at all. White is still expanding, and orange over here building a proxy bot factory right over here, maybe trying to expand in the future. Teal has been able to push off the majority of purple's attacks. Ooh, missed the Uber Cannon, missed it again, was able to kill 2 of them, and now the Doxes are going to be able to wreak havoc on these fabricators. Oh! Laser defense tower for the save, and the Estrellas will be here, built just in the nick of time for Brown to escape out of there. See you later, fuckers. And now is going to go to the other moon, which is pretty salty for Yellow, but Yellow will be able to control the entirety of this side of the planet now, and will be able to actually control all these mexes and get his economy back in the shape of things. And actually, because of this will allow him to catapult into becoming a superpower on this planet for the time being, unless Purple has anything to say about it, since currently Purple is actually also building orbital factories and fabricators, and also is getting these mexes over here, which is pretty good, and on top of that is continuing to attack teal. And if he destroys teal over here, he will be able to secure this side of the planet, which means the planet will be divided between yellow and Mr. Purple respectively, which is actually pretty damn sick. Mr. Teal over here going for the Uber Cannon, was able to nail all those fabricators. Nice play. The Uber Cannon went loop-de-loop and he pulled him tight. But over here we can see on the other planet that red and orange are engaged in a deadly conflict. Orange has actually missed his Uber Cannon over and over again. This is really bad, and the bumblebees are going to come in and annihilate the majority of red's health, but unfortunately right now it's not doing enough damage. However, they are slowly whittling them down. Orange, send back in your commander. You were able to actually annihilate a ton of his health with the commander support, but now I don't think that's going to be the case. So red is slowly going to lose this game. Black is going to try and batter down the gates of Mr. Blue right now, and brown is just continuing to be cleaned up by yellow like a Mr. Clean eraser on top of a bleached surface right now. It's always very annoying to get rid of. Mr. White going for the orbital factory, even though he has nigh on no economy to actually support that orbital factory, and he's also building some defenses to slowly harass Mr. White, which is actually, is that Mr. White? No, Mr. Black over there. My bad. I'm a little bit colorblind. And orange is continuing to harass his opponent. Meanwhile, we have purple building some orcas right now, and is going to slowly batter down the gates of blue, and then completely annihilate him, rape his women, subjugate his lands, and then afterwards build an entire kingdom and call it Lannister. But sadly, for Mr. Purple, he's not actually using orcas. He's instead using single laser defense towers and double laser defense towers, which means he will be only limited to those units and doxes, which actually means he might not actually have the chance to actually kill teal. That's going to be a really big shame right now, and if he's able to escape to the other moon, he will be in a position of great power over purple. Purple will actually get the tier 2 air factory, which is pretty good, pretty solid. And over here we can see that red is being attacked by the doxes, but he will be able to defend it with a couple of uber cannons, as orange is building up some tier 2 structures and orbital factories, while in the meantime we have blue defending against the massive black hordes, and white continuing to harass black. So all around action is going all over the planet, which is pretty damn exciting. Now jump over to the moons. Alicurd is slowly going to be probably either colonized by teal. Yeah, it's going to be colonized by teal. Whereas we have M8 that's going to be colonized by possibly brown. So soon players will choose their respective locations for colonization, and things will be a-okay in the universe. Yellow is going to finish up the mopping up of brown with a couple of doxes instead of his commander, so he's going to be able to focus on the majority of his commander's time on eco, which is actually pretty damn good. Purple's eco is doing phenomenal right now, as he is going to be able to get that advanced air factory, which will catapult him to greatness with tier 2 structures galore. The mexes over here will provide him with enough mexes to just win the game. And let's switch over to the other planet right now, as things are heating up right now. We have Orange building a ton of walls, getting the tier 2 ghillie that will be able to slowly whittle down Red's defenses. We have Blue that's struggling to survive, building a ton of mexes, expanding a little bit and building factories in order to survive all these attacks. We have White that's still struggling with his poor economy. He's basically North Korea this game. Very, very militarized, but no economy whatsoever to support his militaristic expansions. However, he is doing a lot of good things with this pelter, which is amazing. Tier 2 bot factories coming out from Mr. Black, which is actually pretty good. And you know what, Orange? You could do the hammer and anvil strike, or just annihilate Red right now if you so desire. Just need to focus with the ghillies. In fact, the ghillies will be able to kill Red. Oh, we're gonna miss. What? No, wait, back up, back up, back up, back that ass up, girl. Come on, hit that, hit that, hit that, hit that with your Tonka truck. Go, go. Oh my God, I can't believe what I'm saying. No, you were so close. Hit. 360 no scope it, please. You must understand my frustration right now, guys. He's so close to victory. So close to victory. One more shot. One more shot. One more. One more. Come on. Come on. I can't watch this. I can't watch this anymore. I'll have to watch it, actually. Send in another round of bumblebees, please, for the love of God, for the love of all that is good and holy in the entirety of this universe. Please, someone kill that commander before I go insane. Yes! Like the Lord! Tier 2 energy and tier 2 mexes are going to come out from Mr. Orange shortly. In fact, he's already gotten some tier 2 energy, which is pretty good. Orbital factory is going to come out from Orange, and he's probably going to expand with a bunch more factories, which is actually amazing. Let's go back to the other side of the screen, and we see that the Crystal was actually able to annihilate Teal's commander, which is actually very, very unfortunate indeed, as Yellow is going to actually fortify his base and build up a ton of structures in order to clean out Purple slowly, and actually clean out the remnant of Brown. So I'm seeing that Brown is actually trying to stay in this game, and probably trying to stay in this sort of map over here, due to the fact that he wants to slow down Yellow's expansion, and maybe even to a lesser extent Purple's. Purple still doesn't have any tier 2 energy, and that's actually going to be really bad, or tier 2 metal. He's just getting tier 2 units. So if Yellow gets out tier 2 earlier than him, in fact, he doesn't have tier 2 earlier than him. Oh my God, that's going to be very, very bad. He's to get tier 2 out as soon as he can. But if Mr. Yellow is able to get out enough defenses, he will be able to actually annihilate all of Purple's advantages in terms of military, and thus will be able to win the game, which is actually very, very bad for Mr. Purple. Mr. Yellow continuing to expand with defenses. Mr. Blue building some defenses as well, and some orbital units in order to try and push out against Orange and Black. And White is still having a sucky economy, but it's kind of the name of the game right now. So there's only one player out of this game, and that's pretty damn solid. So that means we have still a bunch of action still left for you guys. Purple is going to annihilate the rest of these structures from Brown, which is pretty damn solid. I do say pretty damn solid a lot because this game is pretty damn solid. It's pretty good. Not a lot of turtling, a lot of action, good shows, a sexy commentator to boot. Ladies. You know, everything's going to be just fine and hunky-dory. Unfortunately, we don't see any orbital units being thrown out of the ether space right now. In fact, Brown has only just gone into the moon planet, so he's going to start off from scratch, as we also do see Blue probably leaving to this moon as well that Brown is on. So that means we're going to see a contestant between Brown and Blue soon, which is actually going to be very, very interesting indeed. Alucard has not been colonized at all, and I thought this was actually going to be colonized, which is a little bit unfortunate to say the least. I've been talking a lot. We see the tier 2 energy, and more tier 2 factories are being built by Purple. So Purple is doing what I said he should be doing, building tier 2 energy, building tier 2 mexes, and continuing to build out his tier 2 military production. However, unfortunately, because of that, he's going very low in the efficiency, and is actually slowly actually wrecking his economy. But he will be able to bounce back from it once the structures are finished. Mr. Brown is now annihilated off this planet, just having one fabricator and a few mexes here and there. Yellow is struggling to get out the tier 2, and because he's so late to get out the tier 2, Yellow is probably going to maybe even lose this entire battle over this planet, and Purple will be the victor of this game. Well, not this game, but this planet, actually. And it seems like Blade has actually died. So you know what? Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's pull back the curtains of time. Let's see how Blade died. Ah, that's how. You guys saw it? Here, let me zoom in. So, Mr. Orange is going to harass a little bit of blue, kill off the orbital factories, kill off some of the fabricators, stuff like that. And look at that! The little hummingbirds are going to be able to annihilate the Astraeus of Mr. Blue because it was currently in airborne orbit and not in orbital sort of space. And because of that, he will actually lose that entire unit, which is very, very unfortunate. That includes the commander as well. So because of the action, it's actually slowed down a little bit on the desert planet over here. We can now focus in on just this planet right now. So we have Mr. Blue going for his tier 2 eco. He's gotten it very, very late, but he has a ton of defenses at his disposal. He is going to lose a lot of fabricators due to this very, very lazy play of building some walls. You should really control that a little bit more. Orange is going to continue to mass expand right now, but he is battling against Black for control of this planet. So this planet is basically under Black's control for the most part. Blue for this section of the planet, and the other section is controlled by Orange, as White has been completely eliminated by his incompetence, not his incompetence, but his failure to notice the hummingbirds going by and just wrecking shit with a drive-by, which is very, very unfortunate. However, Orange is focusing a lot of his eco on repairing his commander. Because of that, he will divert less eco to his own economy and his military production, which could be a telltale sign of actually economic failure for Orange's part. However, I don't want to use that terminology quite yet because that's actually a big, big jump right now. Tier 2, wow, it's still not done. Actually, no, wait. Yes, Tier 2 is still not done for Mr. Yellow. That's actually very, very bad. This is going to be very, very gloomy for Yellow if he doesn't fix his shit up now. Otherwise, he's going to fall further and further behind Purple and Eco and thus probably lose the game. And the military production will also further and further go behind as well because of that. In fact, the only players that can really compete with Purple in terms of eco are probably Orange, and that's about it. Black as well. So Black, Orange, and Purple have the highest chances of winning this game. But we shouldn't count out the orbital guys just yet. Mr. Brown is going with an orbital factory and a bunch of structures and some tier 1 eco, whereas Mr. Blue is going with one bot factory. And because Mr. Blue is actually using just one fabricator, he will have a harder time of expanding here than Mr. Brown with his fabricators and his commander. So he's actually very, very weak. At this moon, no one's actually claimed it yet, which is very weird. Now, finally, someone's going to claim it. It's actually going to be Purple. So again, Purple's going to have control of both planets if he is allowed to do so, which is actually very, very unfortunate indeed. Indeed. And you know what? Orange is going to go ahead and actually attack some of Blue's base right now, but unfortunately for him, laser defense platforms, I mean, not laser defense platforms, but laser defense towers are going to be more than enough to deal with these incoming units. Black over here continuing to build pelters and getting some tier 2 mexes right now just to boot and defend his massive economy from further stagnation. Over here we see that the Gillies are trying to battle against these walls for control of the planet, and right now this entire area is exposed right now. You need some laser defense towers. I mean, I cannot stress this enough. Gillies will melt through structures like butter, but unfortunately the laser defense tower for Orange's sort of this benefit has been built, if this benefit is a word, and it will be able to clean up this entire force. Very, very unfortunate indeed. If a bunch of walls are actually built, he will be able to protect his base, no sweat and no problem. Unfortunately, another batch of walls aren't being built, so that's going to be very unfortunate, as these fabricators will slowly die off like the dinosaurs, and it does go away forever. Where is Rogue? I do not know where Rogue is. I will not tell you where Rogue is. Mr. Black is going for a very, very heavy catapult play, and honestly, for my sake, I do like Hulkins a little bit more, but you know what? To each his own, and he will be able to maybe destroy all these structures over here. And Orange, doing pretty good. Getting the nuclear missile launcher, and you know what? Nobody has an anti-nuke yet. Nobody has an anti-nuke on this planet yet. Black has Hulkins, but nobody has an anti-nuke. So you know what? If he actually nukes Black's right over here, then he could destroy all of his fabricators, or most of his fabricators, most of his eco, most of his military production, and most of his military units in general. So one nuke will be the end of Black as we know it, which is actually very deadly. Over here we can see that Purple is going for an Gilly attack and is going to actually wipe off the majority of mexes over here for Yellow right now. That's actually very, very unfortunate. I'm sorry that you can't really see much of it, but I want to keep most of my screen on top of Black's base because of the fact that there could be soon a nuclear missile launch that could maybe even annihilate Black right now. So we have to really check up on when that's actually going to happen right now. A nuclear missile is halfway from actually being completed, so that's pretty good. Oh, anti-nuke's actually going to be built. by black. So you know what? If black actually focuses the majority of his fabricators on the anti-nuke, then all of orange's sort of plans to destroy black will be nullified. Blue is being slowly destroyed by the catapult, Hulkins, Ant, and Pelter attacks. And you know what? Soon, Blue will only have his moon to fall back on, and that's going to be very, very bad indeed. So the planet is going to be split up between black and orange very, very soon, instead of black and blue. Get it? Black and blue. Oh, kill me. Anyway, we see that Mr. Orange is actually going to be able to push forward and actually maybe even destroy most of the tier 2 mechs that will be on black side. Unfortunately for him, however, he does have a couple of catapults, and he has the technology and the fabricators available for him to just build up a quick tier 3 structure and just eliminate all these units, and has ants to boot that can defend this entire area. So that's very, very unfortunate indeed. A couple of shellers are being built, but the shellers will not do much, as these shellers are unfortunately few in number. Nuclear missile has been made for orange, so right now we're just waiting for that ticking time bomb to happen. Purple is continuing to expand his eco, continuing to expand his military production by building a nuclear missile launcher, and honestly speaking, Purple is doing fantastic right now, just eliminating this place slowly and slowly. There's not a lot of action over here, unfortunately, because these players are just dug in so deep right now, but Purple is slowly and slowly whittling down Yellow with the use of his ghillies right now, and Yellow just got tier 2 really, really late, just way too late. However, because Blue was able to stay basically relatively safe in this area for a long period of time without the threat of Doc's attacks, he is able to build out a teleporter and can probably send his commander back home to where he belongs, which is actually very, very good. Anti-nuke is built by black, so that means black is going to be protected by all further attacks from orange, and that means the game is now in a stalemate, as black cannot destroy orange because orange has a ton of production, but orange cannot destroy black because black has a ton of production, a ton of defenses as well to boot. Not to say that orange has no defenses, but at the same time, he doesn't have as many as black, to be honest. And in fact, orange is actually being slowly and slowly whittled down by catapults and Hulkin fire. So if black continues to build Hulkins and catapults, orange will be destroyed, because orange is not building catapults or Hulkins at all, which is actually really, really bad for orange. And orange really needs to fix that sort of facade of his base right now. No, look at this. The catapults are just annihilating everything inside. That's crazy. Let's look at M8 for a second or two, and we can see that brown is continuing to build up on this base, but does not have enough fabricators or energy plants or any eco to boot to support him, and blue has a ton of them, which means blue will be able to probably outproduce and outspam brown before he's able to control this planet. So this planet does look like to be in blue's favor, but we are not too sure about that just yet. Kurd is not controlled by anybody but purple just yet, as purple is sending in more reinforcements to try and increase the production of units on purple. In fact, brown is going to try and contest it, which is a pretty good strategy. On NAF, we still have just a continuous buildup of units, and over here we can see that yellow's been completely defeated. Wow, I did not see that coming. I don't know how late I was, gentlemen, but it was probably a very, very quick attack. Yes, it was. From the looks of it, it seems like the Curstos were able to get into position with the Peregrines and the Ghillies, and he was able to slowly whittle his way to destroying this commander, and thus all of Yellow's dreams. Oh, and the nuclear missile to boot. Yep, that's pretty much it. So now purple has control of the entirety of this planet now, and will be able to dominate all economic activity on this planet, as well as probably even controlling this moon, unless brown has anything to say about it. So most of the focus now should be shifted towards this moon. Yes, right over there, and Sleeping Rock. As now we see that purple has controlled his entire planet, which means there's no point in focusing on that area of the world. So anyway, we can see that orange is doing some sneaky little flybys with his crystals right now, destroying all mechs in sight from black, as well as killing off some much needed radar intel, which is really, really, really bad for Mr. Black. However, he's not killing the core components of black's attacks on Mr. Orange, which is, of course, the catapults and the Hulkins, which are now being guarded by flat cannons, which is pretty bad. I say witch a lot. Why am I saying witch? Witches. Witches! The Salem witches. Black is going to clear off the rest of blue's base, but he won't be able to clear out this section because there's a ton of double laser defense towers, unless, you know, the little bits and pieces of his catapults here and there can just basically kill off all those structures. Crystals are going to go forward and actually do a ton of damage to this anti-nuke. There goes one anti-nuke. If he kills off the other anti-nuke, he will be able to actually nuke the shit out of Black and thus win the game. A giant ghillie attack is going forward right now. Going to be able to kill the laser defense towers. Almost no cigar just yet. Hokin's a catapult fires way too much. The single laser defense tower is just too damn powerful. Nuke's going to go off, but the anti-nuke was still available to Black. In fact, he had a third anti-nuke. Sneaky little bastard. And he's expanding his eco quite a bit. He will be able to also repair all of these tier 2 mechs and build some flat cannons with them. So that now no more sneaky attacks will go by him. That is actually really good. Really good. So once again, Black is still in a commanding position over Sleeping Rock right now, as he's able to outproduce and out-micro his way around Orange's attacks. And honestly speaking, Orange is in a very bad position because he hasn't expanded nearly as much as he should, and he hasn't equaled as much. He also hasn't really built up enough military units and enough defenses. So if Black just focuses on catapult defenses and Hokin's attacks, well shit, Orange is dead. Orange also made the fatal mistake, as he did last time, of not building any orbital units. Also, back to where Blue is at right now. Blue is at a very curious position, as right now, as I've said beforehand, Blue had a ton of fabricators. However, unfortunately for those fabricators, they tended to suck ass at basically keeping up with his fledgling economy. Because of that, well, Mr. Blue can barely produce these structures, which means Brown is in a commanding position on this moon right now. However, just because I say commanding doesn't mean that Brown does have the upper hand. Indeed, that's not what commanding means at all. He just has a little bit of an edge, but does not have the full-on advantage. Brown is going to build tier 2, unlike Brown, and because of that, he will maybe be able to catapult his economy to further and further gain. So right now, the battle for the moon is still anybody's game, and Purple over here interfering, building a anchor. Oh, dirty man. So he will be able to control this moon if he has anything to say about it. So man, oh man, it's a three-way war right now over M8 right now, as the nav is slowly becoming Purple's favorite destination spot. And he's also going to colonize Alkerd slowly as well. Probably going to build Halley's and thus win the game by planet smashing. However, it's still anybody's game right now. He has to definitely choose the right place to actually planet smash, otherwise he's going to be in a very awkward position where he planet smashes the wrong area and he gets planet smashed in return and loses the game. Crystals from Mr. Orange are going to go off as the catapults and Hokins continue to land down volley after volley, but there's just too much flak, too much defenses. What are you doing? Sir, you are losing your stuff. But are there enough defenses? That is something one must wonder, as there's actually only one flak cannon defending against this entire aerial push right now. There goes the flak cannon, and there goes any hope of these energy plants and the commander from being of being protected right now. I'm lost for words right now. Crystals, if you move down, you've basically won the game. Right over there, look, prize booty. Look at that. You see it. Take it. It's yours, my friend. It's yours, and right now he is focusing all of his crystal fire on this commander. He's going to be able to maybe slowly whittle it down to the point where his crystals will be able to annihilate it. But unfortunately, alas, the commander is safe. But here's another thing Orange could do. Orange could actually nuke the commander if he needed to. And as we're talking right now, and I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, Blue is attacking Mr. Brown, slowly whittling down his defenses and trying to see a weak spot as the Purple is building an anchor. Dirty man. Dirty man needs to take a shower. Orange, fire that nuke. Fire that nuke, Orange. Fire that nuke right now. You got it. The anti-nuke is too far away. Fire it. Fire the nuke. Fire the nuke. I'm sorry, I'm just very excited right now, as this could be an entire table flip right now for Blue, Black, and everybody in between. There goes the nuke. Was that a nuke? No, it was the Astreus. Oh, cock block. No, wait, that was the nuke. I am blind to the truth. Like Aristotle. Wait, Aristotle wasn't blind. I'm sorry about that. Aristotle was not blind, but there goes the nuke. And there goes Black's hopes of victory. GG, no re. It seems like Black's table has been completely flipped upside down, and orange now has the entirety of the metal planet under his control for now, unless someone sends in a couple of orbitals, sends in some units to a teleporter, and destroys all of his hopes and dreams. But for now, if he just focuses on expanding throughout the entire planet, scouting the entire planet, and building up a ton of orbital units, he will be able to control this entire planet. However, Brown is having something to say about that. It might be able to build a laser platform and ruin all of the hopes and dreams of orange. Alucard currently is still being built as a military base for economic purposes. So now most of the action now is going to focus on M8 between blue, purple, and brown. This has been an exciting game so far. I've actually lost my voice. I'm going to take a sip of water. Oh, damn it. Okay. Wow. So let's see what Brown can do. Brown can do that. Build a bunch of crystals and bum 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 bum. Brown, turn around. Turn around right now. Kill that teleporter. Kill that teleporter. Okay, so this is really bad. The map is being divided between 3 players right now. Brown, purple, and blue. Brown missed his opportunity to destroy the purple horde, and now purple is sending forth a giant mass of fabricators, building tons of missile turrets, and will be able to control this entire side of the planet now because he has just too many defenses for Brown to boot. And now all purple needs to do now is destroy these players, and then all he has to worry about is orange. And once he has control of this moon, then orange has nowhere to go but stay in Sleeping Rock. And because Sleeping Rock unfortunately is not a planet smashing enabled planet, then he will actually lose the game, because then currently Mr. Purple will have 2 planet smashing enabled planets. This is actually crazy right now. Absolutely crazy. Or Brown, you've missed your shot. I'm sorry, kid. You're just done for. There's too many fabricators, too much production right now. Purple's banking everything on this massive push of fabricators, as Brown and Blue's economy is just simply not enough to contend with this. Can we call it GG Stewart? I'm not sure. That's a little bit dickish, but we're going to just call it a little bit of an upper hand, a little bit of an edge, a commanding position, if you would. As right now these fabricators are actually doing the chummy-chunga right now. Chummy-chunga, chummy-chunga, chunga. These Stalks going to their doom, dying beneath the barrels of this Tier 3 laser defense tower. Now, the Tier 3 laser defense tower has no walls, so he is actually being slowly whittled away, as the fabricators are going to actually die out slowly as well. But it just does not matter. There's just too many fabricators. So even if he loses a ton of fabricators, he is going to actually slowly win out the day of this battle, because he's just able to outproduce his opponent. However, if his opponent continues to build up units, continues to build up pelters, Hulkins, and all assortments of crazy weaponry, then you know what? Mr. Purple will lose. He just needs to be kept under pressure continuously over and over and over again. I have received the text messages, probably from my mom, because I don't have any friends. Here. And what do you know? It is my mom. It is my mom. Okay, guys, we're back to your regularly scheduled programming of Planetary Annihilation. So we have that Mr. Brown has pushed off against these Tier 2 factories very, very nicely, actually. But unfortunately for him, he just does not have enough units to actually continue to pressure him. Because of this, Purple will win. Sorry, Brown. Actually, Purple could lose. Lose the platform, destroy the teleporter, done. That could end it all. Now, question is, does Purple have the know-how to know that he should build Alucard as a Haley-enabled planet? Yes, he does have the Haleys on Alucard right now, so if he wanted to, he's going to planet smash. In fact, we should really just focus on that planet, see if it's going to planet smash or not. So I'm going to keep it right on that screen for now. Brown and blue are continuing to fight each other. They're kind of like the Sasanian Empire and the Roman Empire, continuously fighting against each other over and over and over again, not realizing that a third, more powerful threat known as the Arabs, or otherwise Orb, is looming, waiting for the right time to strike and send out a bunch of nomad horse archers to just wreak havoc upon the civilized world. Yes, I just compared Orb to a nomad horse archer. Deal with it. What? Mr. Brown, what happened? Did Mr. Brown kill his commander? Let's pull back the pieces and find out. Why, yes, he did. So Mr. Brown is out of the game, and now it's between purple, blue, and... Go back. He killed himself. Okay. Now it's between orange and purple. Well, this was fun. This was a fun game. You know, this is a game where shit happens. So orange is dead. Can we have a vote to see if orange is dead? Everybody who says orange is dead, say yay. Yay! Any nays? No? Nay. Neesaw. Okay. Yeah, you're dead. And there's nothing we can really say about that. We can talk about life. Our place in the universe. See, I like to think of our life as kind of like this floating little ball over there, you know, traveling through life without a whim, without a care, trying to fulfill our destiny of smashing other lives. You know, sometimes we have brothers, sometimes we have sisters, we have enemies. But all around in life, we're just one giant rock floating in space, trying to smash another planet. Sometimes I feel like that planet's attached with boobs, like this sleeping rock over here. You see, that's one tit. That's another tit on the side. You know, it's basically one giant tit, but with two nipples on each of the ends. I mean, like a guy's tit, so it looks really weird. Guy's nipples look really weird. There's a nuke coming off from purple, but it doesn't really matter since there's nothing to nuke. Wait. You still with me, Mr. Moon? Yes, you are. BAM! GG. Nobody. Mr. Orbnet, you have won again. Congratulations. And for your prize, you get this dog. I don't have a dog. I lied. Fuck you, Orb. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time for another exciting game of Orb wins at Planetary Annihilation. This is a huge crater. Look at that crater. Look at that. Really? You're gonna send in a nuke? Ah! Ha ha ha! Ah, it ended. Bye-bye.